morning. It is 20 after 6 in the morning. I got here about 40 minutes ago and I've just been taking my time setting up the camera and the gear. Redid a rig and whatnot. I'm quite happy about where I am today because I haven't been here in a while. The last time I fished here I actually did really well. Oh, there's a run! Oh man. I apologize if it's too dark. I don't have the camera settings set right yet. Solid fish. I don't know if I'm in frame or not, kinda. As I said, I don't have the camera settings right yet. Goldie left a filter on the camera that I can't take off, so it makes everything dark. I had it just set right to be sitting in the chair and letting you know what's going on and where I am. Oh no. Oh, that was a good solid fish too. Let's put this back over here so you can actually see what's going on. Alright, so I really need to redo my bait there, but I need to let you know where I am and what's going on. That line had been in the water probably 90 seconds. I literally cast it out, put it on the bobbin, and turned this camera on, and boom. So yeah, as I was saying, the last time I fished here I did really well. However, it started out just like that. Was probably just over a year ago now, or in and around a year ago. We're in the end of August. There's a fish rising right there. So yeah, we're in the end of August. Dave has been baiting this spot, you know, on and off as he goes. It's kind of that regular spot he visits, but he hasn't spent a lot of time here yet. He was here the other day and actually got a few fish, and told me that it should be good for a bite this morning. I had planned on going somewhere completely different, and I only have I have 3.5 hours left before I got to get out of here. So last time, yeah, I crushed it. I did really well. Dave joined me later on in the day, or in the morning, and he did well as also. We did a video that day, and if you go back and watch, you'll see that the first 2 fish I had that morning were big fish. They were good, solid fish, much like that one felt, and I lost them both. That's one thing about this spot, is you can get a lot of hookups, but with all the different structures on the bottom, your landing ratio is going to take a hit. So I'm kind of bummed, but I'm kind of also, you know, I expected that a little bit. You know, it's a really neat location. We're, I guess, right in the middle of town. Massive highway right above us. And it's just this one little tiny spot tucked away out of this long stretch of water where these fish can move in and out of. And, well, I think Dave's got them trained because, you know, year after year he's able to produce some really interesting fish here. He got a koi here last year. I think on Halloween he got an orange and black koi. Like, that was quite a surprise. But Clint's had some good fish here. Dave's had some good fish here. You know, I've had some quality fish here, but it's those really big ones that I tend to struggle with, because I get those bites first, and then after that it's a bunch of small fish. Yeah, when I arrived there was a few fish rising. I put a little bit of bait out. They started to stir a bit more, so I was quite stoked that they were going to be here and ready to go. I didn't quite expect it that fast, especially since a ship just came through. And usually when a ship comes through, these fish shut down for a while. Not in this case. So after what was a very odd start this morning, you know, got here a little bit later than planned, took my time setting up, which I don't usually do, and I also spilled my coffee as soon as I closed the door of the van. I tripped over my bucket and knocked my cup of coffee over, so I had one sip out of that coffee. So I'm gonna have to settle for some OJ. But I think I'm gonna give it 5 minutes just in case there's another fish right there on that spot. Then I'm gonna fix my rig. Like, I know the rig's sound, but I have a long hair and I'm fishing quite a bit of corn on that hair, like a long corn stack. That's what I'm starting with anyway. There's a few pieces missing, so there might be a little bit too much movement between the hook and the bait, but I'll give it 5 minutes. If I don't get anything else on it in that time, I'll fix it. I also have another bait plan that I want to use for a little bit later before I go, that Dave's been doing. He's been using the magic mussel boilies from Canal Carp tackle, and apparently they've gotten him some bites. So yeah, quite excited that we kicked this morning off to a great start. It's just my my overall failure as an angler that caused me to lose that fish. But it's just when I'm here, I don't lose fish anywhere else. That one was another surprise. Tiny. Little guy, first fish in the net though. Definitely a strong one for his size. Guess I better get situated and give you a look at this fish. You guys missing part of his tail. Alright, first fish on the bank this morning. You know, little guy, but a good start. I know there's some much bigger ones in here, but you can't complain as long as you're catching. So I'm gonna get him back, and get this line fixed, and hopefully we'll get another one. always so clumsy after a fish. Kind of just tend to throw things everywhere, and then I lose time fishing because I'm untangling or fixing whatever mess I made. It's just the way it goes, I guess. I got some rig tubing on here that's getting stuck on the knot. There we go. So all I'm doing is got my braided main line straight through, about 18 inches of rig tubing, simple 90-gram inline lead, very short hook length, you know, comparatively to what I normally would use, and set up as a tube blowback rig with a relatively long hair. And filthy. Push the tubing right up over the knotless knot. So it's a size 4 Monster Carp Universal Perfection hook. Oh my goodness, I can't even talk this morning. Just went with it. That's not a size 4. Yeah, that's a size 4. I had to double check. And then I got a relatively long hair because I'm running a corn stack of 4 pieces of Monster Carp tackle corn. I think I'm using pineapple today. Pineapple Trudy Fruity, I don't remember which jar I had out. And then just 1 piece of ESP buoyant corn, just to kind of help stand the stack up a little bit. The hook sits on the bottom, the stack sits straight up like that. No hook line or anything like that, just a slight break in the coating right below the hook eye. What I've been doing is just touching up the hook. You know, it's still sticky sharp, but after fish, so after that first one I lost, and now again after this one, just gonna give it a little bit of a touch up with the file. You know, these hooks are really robust hooks, and I'm fishing in rock, but there's not a lot of rock down there, so I don't have to worry about the hook point turning too much. But I could probably get 2 or 3 fish on this hook still without any issue before I start to consider it being a little bit on the dull side, and I need to swap it out. But if I get to the point where I need to swap this rig out, I have a completely different rig that I want to use with a different bait. As I mentioned, the boilies earlier, I have the Magic Mussel boilies with me, and I have some of the coconut boilies with me. I just threw everything when I had that run, so I got to find my baiting needle, and I got to put everything back together to get this ready to go to put back out there. But that's the first tactic. So we're starting with this. It's had 2 bites so far. I'm getting the impression there's probably another ship coming through because the water's starting to move. So now might be a good time to get another quick bite before it comes in. So I'm going to get back to this and get in the water. Well, the shipping lanes got a little bit busier. So with another ship coming through right now, it's kind of had the water stirring up quite a bit, and normally when that happens the fish just shut right down. So after a big push out of water, then a big swell back in, now the ship's going by, I sat down, I was playing with my phone, thought, you know, I got a bit of time before another bite comes. It's been about 40 minutes since I had that fish. So with it slowing down so quickly, I thought, well, the boat traffic's going to mess everything up. I'm probably not going to do much better now. And then out of nowhere, just a melting run, took about 25-30 yards of line, and as soon as I lifted up the rod, it wasn't there. So I guess there's still a few feeding fish down there. I'm just casting around where I put the bait because I spread it out quite a bit, so I'm not stuck to one spot. I can fish a little bit right or a little bit left or a little bit further out to some deeper water. And that one was just a little bit deeper down the slope. So hopefully the next bite I can get stung into, because that's 3 bites this morning in just over an hour. maybe once this ship passes and the water settles again, I can pick another one off. I'll probably give it about 10-15 minutes before I put any more bait out. I'm just doing little bits and often, you know, half a spoon at a time, maybe 2 or 3 of those instead of one big full spoon and one big group. You know, half a spoon over to the left, half a spoon to the right, maybe a little bit less, just kind of spread out, really, like throw it really high so it spreads out over the whole area. I don't want to give them too many food offerings out there, just enough to get them grubbing around and hopefully find my hook bait. Well, no sooner did that ship take off and get through the bridge and, you know, traffic started again. Yeah, water settled and another run, and this time I felt it right away, but it come off. So I'm gonna call this hook blunted for now. I'll give it a proper sharpen, or I'll just tie a whole new rig. But I have another rig set up. I have a D rig set up with a Magic Muscle boilie, so I'm going to put that out there while I try and figure out what I'm going to do with the corn stack, and we'll see if that'll get me a take. That one was to the right and deeper as well, so I think maybe the fish have moved over a little bit. Let's quickly put that on, just to give you a quick look at that rig. Another fish jumping. So again, a relatively short rig. This one, coated braid, just stripped right before the hook. I have one of the Corda D-rig kickers. Well, you can actually see that. Not well at all. Oh well. Size 4 Monster Carp hook, a Magic Muscle boilie, and a little tiny pineapple pop-up just to make it a snowman rig. So that's what Dave says he's been getting, except he's been using a pop-up corn instead of a pop-up boilie on top. So I'm thinking maybe I can kick out a little bit more of a flavor mix, mixing pineapple and mussel. So even though I'm in the shade now, it's just because the sun got behind the highway there, but man, it was like 15 degrees when I got here, and it's already up over 20 degrees. So it got sunny and hot fast, so I'm wondering if that's probably why the fish kind of shut down for a bit there. Good firm donk on the bottom there. Definitely some other rocks though. I definitely hit something else as it settled. And now it's just a matter of, can I get another bite? It's 4 bites so far. I'm batting 25%. It's not very good. Simple mix of bait. I don't know how well you can see that, if I'm even giving you a decent look at all. It's just got some maize, some bird seed, a little bit of hemp seed, and some tiger nuts. A lot of really small particles, but other than the maize and the tiger nuts, not really much in the way of proper food items. Spreading it out as much as I can so no big clumps or anywhere, and they really got to move around for it. one of the advantages of fishing in an urban environment is Pokemon Go puts the carp right in your lap. So at least maybe I'll have a chance at catching something better. See how hard it was to catch that? Like, oh well. I really hope the action cam picked up that run. Hang on, let me get in a better light here. So I was expecting a bite. I really was. I kind of knew there was one coming. Smashed it, absolutely smashed it. Broke my hook link material. You know, there's mussels, there's rocks down there. I set into the fish. I felt the fish for just a split second and then it come off, so he got around something. There is some concrete chunks down there. But man, what a run. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to tie a new rig. I'm gonna go back to the blowback rig with the corn stack, but it's gonna take me a few minutes to tie that up, so I'll just see what random rig I've got in the bag and just put something out there so I'm fishing while at least I can put that rig together. It's 5 bites and all I've landed is a little guy. Dave said his landing ratio has not been as good as his hookup ratio, but you know, I've only actually hooked into and fought 2 of the 5 bites. The other ones have either dropped it as soon as I pick it up, or like that one, the line broke. And this is the part where I make Goldie angry when he edits, because I start swearing and he has to beep out everything. I'm not gonna do that. Gonna throw a random rig on and get something out there so I can at least stay fishing. I have about an hour and 40 minutes left before I have to go. The fish are still rising, obviously they're still biting. Let's see if I can turn this around. Well, the end of the session is rapidly approaching. I pretty much have 15 minutes before I need to be completely packed up and heading for the van. So it's been tough. Water's been moving a lot. There's been several ships come through. So the fish activity just wasn't the same as I was expecting it to be. I had a lot of runs. I can't complain about that. But to only have landed the one fish, it's kind of a bummer. But as it stands now, I'm pretty much out of battery and out of memory cards. I've got the action cam going and that's pretty much it. I've got like 2 minutes left on this, so I'm gonna shut the cameras down for now.
Catching anything?
Not for a while. Yeah, I'm gonna shut the cameras down now and hopefully we can get one before I leave.